Remember these 4 points. In a free country, everyone can be heard. In a totalitarian society, only the powerful can be heard. Number 2, only the paranoid survive. Only the paranoid survive. And number 3, Germany rejects cluster bombs for Ukraine as an old clip surfaces of the Biden administration, previously calling them a war crime. What a bunch of phonies and frauds that can't keep their story straight. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, Russia is kicking Ukraine's ass. Okay? And lastly, the downfall of this country is going to be the low information voter. That's what they're banking on. They have no clue what is going on and maybe listen to their favorite TV news station a little bit. Let me tell you this, both parties are banking on this to maintain their power. It's a uniparty at the top. Get educated, get informed, ask questions, have debates. So the Federal Reserve launches phase 1 of their CBDC soon. The Chinese-style social credit system will reach America, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final blow. This is the takeover. So in a recent Time magazine article, Ray Diello, I follow him a little bit, of Bridgewater Associated Hedge Fund, warned that the world is on the brink of disaster. He comes to this conclusion based on the current events, and he goes back to the 1930s when you follow the Federal Reserve and you see what happens and you line up the tea leaves. So the Federal Reserve, and I've done a lot of talks on CBDC and where this is going in the social credit system, it's here. The Federal Reserve Bank, FEDNOW, is scheduled for launch by the end of July. FEDNOW is officially an update to the Federal Reserve payment processing and settlement system. So, and it appears to be a backdoor to creating the central bank digital currency, like the China model. China's already doing it. I did a talk a year ago, said they were testing it in 4 cities. So, private blockchain operator Tasset has partnered with the Federal Reserve new payment system and will serve as the interface for FedNow. So this is happening. FedNow will also connect with the Metal blockchain, whose CEO and founder claims will allow banks to prepare for an eventual central bank digital currency along with bank-issued stable coins. So the idea of a central bank digital currency is already, ladies and gentlemen, hugely unpopular with the majority of Americans. They've woken up to this. Okay, but according to Dale Hauser, it is being set up to destroy all alternative blockchain solutions such as Ripple and Stellar is one interesting point he made, and I would have to agree with that. And if the powers that be are successful in destroying the U.S. economy, and that's part of the reason they want to bring this in, because they want to destroy the U.S. economy and say, we got something to save it, CBDC. So, like I said, then the only other option you're going to have is, please save us. We'll take CBDC. So the only thing that would save us from this now is some sort of revolution, which would probably be nearly impossible, seeing as how divided the populist movement is within the left-right paradigm. They got everyone so divided. That was done by design. Racism. So last week in China, the World Economic Forum proclaimed that the entire world, this is it, needs to switch to central bank digital currency with expiration dates and restrictions on undesirable purchases. They don't like a purchase you want to make, they won't allow you to do it. They're proposed using artificial intelligence to censor hate speech and disinformation on the internet, and using artificial intelligence to control a global social credit system that will involve wearable devices and sensors to monitor everyone's actions. This is going on in China right now. I did a talk on the social credit system over a year ago. It is happening, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, we have the low information voter out there in America. So common sense and simple observation will tell you that the so-called elites will continue on their path towards economic destruction and world war to bring in CBDC, which is likely what the international bankers have planned all along. So let us not forget that the fast-growing, BRICS, B-R-I-C-S, monetary system was born, if you look at the history of this, in 2001 out of Goldman and Sachs. And if you go back farther than that, in 1971, kind of the catalyst for all this, President Nixon officially ended the gold standard and replaced it with the petrodollar, in which OPEC agreed to price their oil in dollars in exchange for U.S. military protection. Okay, the only thing propping up our economy now is the world reserve currency. So this blood money deal preserved U.S. control over the world economy. But When the U.S. weaponized the SWIFT system, and we did, the SWIFT payment system, against Russia, BRICS became the only viable solution for the rest of the world. So a shortage of U.S. dollars in Argentina has caused commercial banks to allow the Chinese yen as a form of currency in savings and checking accounts. So Argentina has already been issuing securities in the Chinese yen and has made a $2.7 billion payment to the International Monetary Fund using Chinese BRICS currency. You see where this is going, ladies and gentlemen? So right now, folks, the largest amounts of debt and inflation, the biggest gaps in wealth, the values resulting in the rise of populism on both the left and the right against the elites, and the greatest international conflict between world powers with this Ukraine war. Russia has the largest nuclear reserves in the world. And now we have China. So probably more importantly, there's conflict now with the U.S. and China. So if we the people fail to unite against the powers that be, then the solution will most certainly be world war. These people want world war, depopulation, and total control of you. And this is all happening right now while you watch football. I will leave you with this and a few other points. There is a major war consuming Europe involving one of the great nuclear superpowers, Russia. Our president is possibly cognitively impaired, yes. And his son is a notorious crackhead and bagman for any nation wanting to buy influence with him. So all I'm saying is maybe, just maybe, it's not great optics of the White House right now. I'm going to tell you this. Russia, Putin, say what you will about him. He's a thug, but he's not selling his ass off and buying with China and other countries like we are. We have a president. I've seen all the information. I've seen the gentleman who testified with the millions of dollars and payoffs and threatening and all this craziness. It's just documented and there's empirical evidence. It's astonishing. It's absolutely astonishing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to get into this because this is not a political channel, but it's absolutely, every day I wake up in shock. It's something new, and that's what they want. They want you constantly worried, and it's something new every day. Let's change the story. Divide and conquer, divide and conquer. But it's absolutely shocking what is going on with our White House, and we're supposed to be the leaders of the world, and everyone looks to us, and now they're laughing at us. So, we have a war, and our side in Britain is pushing that Ukraine be in NATO. That's World War III. And if you go back to 2007 and all these things, all Putin wanted was don't make Ukraine part of NATO. It'd be neutral. So you remember, Khrushchev put missiles in Cuba. What did we do? Right on our border. We freaked out. Okay? You're putting missiles, nuclear weapons in Ukraine, because that's what's going to happen, pointed at Russia. Largest nuclear reserves in the world. An unbelievable army that knows how to guerrilla fight. If you look at the history with Afghanistan, what they've done, they will kick our ass. You have to find a way to live with Russia. We screwed them in the SWIFT system. We have to find a way to live with Russia. They're a superpower. They have a lot of minerals and natural resources, and a lot of people around the world would love to get that. And Ukraine, the wheat basket of the world, that's what this is about, ladies and gentlemen. If you go back the last 50 years with Ukraine, it's about their resources and minerals and who can control that. But, work a deal out. Enough is enough. Poor innocent women and children in Ukraine are being killed. The whole country is being demolished. Russia is kicking Ukraine's ass. Hands down. And if they make this upcoming meeting July 15th, the summit, they're going to vote maybe on making Ukraine part of NATO. That's World War III. That's World War III. You have to find a way to live with everyone around the world. Right now, our country has sanctions on 32 countries, meaning, hey, we don't like the crop you're producing. If we're going to sanction you, you better change that. We're in everyone's business. We have 1,000 bases all over the world. Russia doesn't. Russia doesn't have sanctions on 32 countries. Hey, I'm proud American. But maybe all I'm saying is maybe this hegemony has gone too far. Maybe we're in everyone's business and we're the bully of the world. I'm just saying it. And maybe that's why people hate us. Maybe, maybe that's why people hate us. And if you look at the precedent and how things have happened, the Iraq war, and turned out to not be true, and weapons of mass destruction, I don't want to get into all this stuff. It's pretty frightening. And, we're not winning the war in Ukraine, period. So CBDC is the end goal, because whoever controls the money supply controls the world. And if this gets implemented, ladies and gentlemen, which is going on in China, they can track your every system, and they can look at your purchases and say, no, you can't buy that. They can limit your purchases. Look what's going on with meat. You can only have so much meat a month. Oh, you went over the limit? Sorry. Oh, we're going to shut off your money because we don't like your political views. What party are you going to vote for? What are you saying on the internet? We don't like that. We're going to shut off your money. That's where this is going. So if you're just get educated and talk and be open to debates. I want to have debates. That's what this country's about. We can decide for ourselves on Twitter. I don't need the EU telling me I'm stupid and I can't make a decision for myself and figure out what's real and what's not, what's fact and what's fiction. We don't need your help. I can decide for myself what is real and what is not, make a decision and deduce from it. Come on. Yes, we have some stupid people out there. Absolutely 100%. But I believe in conversation to uncover the truth. And that's what this country is about, is freedom of speech. And unfortunately right now, I'm hearing more from the left than the right that they want to get rid of that. No, that's what makes this country unique, is freedom of speech. And if we lose that, we lose our country. Take care.